Can this magic bag of corn actually stop weed seeds from sprouting and help fertilize your main crops? Let's talk about corn gluten meal, when to use it, how it works, and whether or not you should be using it with your crops. Corn gluten meal is a byproduct of corn, as the name would suggest. It has about 9 to 10% nitrogen, depending on the brand that you get, and has 0 phosphorus and potassium. Corn gluten meal is a slow release and organic method to fertilize and help reduce weed pressures. The big claim is that corn gluten helps to suppress weed seeds and stop them from germinating, which technically is true. But the catch is it does not identify the difference between a weed seed like dandelions and grasses from the seeds that you are planting to try to grow food. If you apply the corn gluten meal at the wrong time, you're not just suppressing the weed seeds, you could also be suppressing all those direct sown seeds that you're trying to grow, like lettuces, carrots, beets, peas, beans, anything that you would put directly into the ground. Corn gluten meal does best in certain situations, such as you can apply it around perennial garden beds that already have plants growing, and you can apply it around your transplants. So your tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, brassicas, things that are going to need some higher nitrogen to grow those big green leaves, and on pathways or walkways where you don't want anything to be germinating and growing are good scenarios to use corn gluten meal. Today, I'm going to use it in these 2 beds here to grow our potatoes. So I'm going to apply the corn gluten meal, which is going to help to suppress weed seeds that I know are going to be in here mixed in already. And that's going to just help to allow those potatoes to grow and not have to compete with any of the weeds. If you are wanting to use this just as a fertilizer, there are definitely better options. It is only a nitrogen source, so you're not getting any of that potassium or phosphorus. And it is also a slow release fertilizer, which means that it's not going to be readily available for crops that might need it right away, like your leafy greens, kale, broccoli, cabbage, and lettuces. Compared to other sources of nitrogen, like cow manure or chicken manure or compost that has had more green materials put into it, this corn gluten meal is going to be relatively more expensive. So if you're just using it as a fertilizer, maybe look for some other options. So should you use corn gluten meal in your gardens? Yes, absolutely. If you are transplanting tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, like we are going to be here, or any other crops that are going to need a little bit higher nitrogen at the beginning to start off that leafy green growth. And if you are wanting to suppress weeds from sprouting and popping up around those. When you're not going to use it, though, is when you are planning to direct seed a crop. Anything like beans, peas, lettuces, beets, carrots, all of those, skip the corn gluten meal, as it might cause those to not sprout. 3 tips to help you improve your experience with corn gluten meal in your garden are to apply it before seeds germinate, water it in really well to help it break down and mix in with the soil, and then let the surface of your soil dry out, as that will help to stop any roots from forming from any seeds that have already sprouted. If you found this video helpful and you'd like to help support our food security mission, please leave us a like, comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All the food that we are going to be growing here at our new farm is going to be donated to community support agencies running food banks and other food access programs.